Finding limewood these days seems to be a bit difficult, and I sometimes have to go quite far afield. And I like to use lime. It's a traditional wood carver's wood, and it's just the right sort of density, and it's also very stable, so it doesn't move around once you've carved it. My name's John Butler, and I'm a wood carver, and I live in Bideford in North Devon. I came from Harrow in North London originally, and my parents moved to Devon in 1963, so I was quite a young man, and now I'm quite an old man. Really always starts with an idea which I write down in my little sketchbook here. It might be written notes or drawn notes, and then they can sit there for weeks or sometimes years or even decades before I get round to doing them. And then of course it's a matter of finding the right size timber, the right dimensions, deciding how large I want the piece to be. Then I draw out a template, which is like a dress pattern essentially, and lay that on the timber, and then bandsaw out the basic shape, so it's a squared sort of shape like an old-fashioned toy soldier. And then it's a matter of modelling it from there with a series of very sharp chisels. Sharp chisels are key, really. Not just ordinarily carpenter's sharp, but it should be like surgeon sharp if you can possibly do it. You have to go with the grain. You can't just carve in any direction. It's almost like stroking a dog or something. Even in the dark you would know which way the dog was facing by how you stroked it, and so it's the same with the wood. Yes, I'm always having a look at the oddities of life, really, and sort of picking it up and running with it. And it was only when I started carving humorous things and observational things that my work started to come alive. I do need a driving idea behind anything I do. Well, I've got a few commissions on at the moment. One I'm doing is for a friend who used to be in charge of horology, I think they call it, at the British Museum. That's clocks and watches. And he's asked me to do a carving of Thomas Mudge, who became a very famous watch and clockmaker when he moved to London in the 18th century. And so I've done a carving of Thomas Mudge peering out of the face of a grandfather clock. This other one I'm working on here is a portrait of two girls that used to play for England rugby club. They're sisters, and their mum and dad came in and said would I do something to commemorate when they were playing, and they gave me a whole host of photographs of them, and they're really tough looking girls, you know, racing around the pitch and all of that. But there was this nice one of the one on each other's shoulders, and that seems to be turning into quite a nice looking piece. I found being good at art and humorous, yeah, and being able to run fast with good survival tactics.